Orny Adams in the hizzy. Let me ask you this, Orny. You're a pretty self-absorbed guy, but I want to get the cut of your jib on something.
It's so strange that you would call me self-absorbed.
Yeah, that's how self-absorbed people, that's how they process information.
I would say you're more self-absorbed than I am.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
It's a possibility, but I don't know. I have kids, for instance, which means like you can be self-absorbed with kids, but only so self-absorbed. You know what I mean? Because you do have to funnel time, attention, and funds towards somebody other than you. You know,
the kids that you've been ignoring for 20 plus years.
Those kids, yeah. What's his nose and what's her name over there?
Your new JD Vance stance.
This is my stance.
It's amazing how a topic
you
comes
have a
up.
good time with your cats.
Yeah,
over there. Now, are you petting them or eating them or selling them to Haitian neighbors? Like, what are you doing with your cats, Orny, and your self-absorbed lifestyle?
I can say this. I was in Vegas last weekend doing shows, and JD Vance came up. And I just went off, and people love to laugh at JD Vance. Everybody. He's a joke.
Oh, speaking of, I find him quite eloquent.
You do? Of course you do.
Yeah. Well, if you ever hear him debate, he is quite eloquent.
But don't you think it's interesting that you've never talked about me not having kids, but now that your new hero, JD Vance, has made this a topic.
I was really just going down a different road here, which is I have a litmus test to figure out narcissists.
I'm not even close to narcissistic.
I know, but let's see if we can lay this scenario out for you.
Yeah.
And you tell me what you think.
Okay, but do you think you could ask me to do this without insulting me first?
I could see a world where maybe that existed, but I don't live in it, Orny.
Yeah.
You may be right. There may have been a way to broach this subject without insulting you.
Right.
I don't know that. I don't know how to get. I don't know that route. I don't know how to get there. But I will say it probably exists on some plane that I'm not living on. But let's just move forward with the scenario.
But you brought this up. I would never bring this up. But as I've come to know you in the last few years, I would say you're more self-absorbed in it for Adam Carolla than most people. Like, you're real Hollywood.
Yeah. I know. That's why you see, I drive a Mazda. Come on, you know.
Oh, you drive a Mazda to offset
to make
how
a statement. To make a statement. You know what I mean?
Adam Carolla has 2,000 bottles of baby oil.
And a life supply of dildos and butt plugs, -1 because I'm wearing one now.
Right, of course. All right. Here's my thing.
I can get into P. Diddy. I got questions about that.
Anytime.
I'm ready. Let's go there. I'll circle back to my other one. But
okay. And I'm going to circle back to you being as self-absorbed as you are.
Thank you.
You are you're ruthless. You're a ruthless Hollywood business guy. That's what I've come to realize.
It's all about the Benjamins.
It is.
And I went from kissing Weinstein's ass to kissing P. Diddy's ass. And now I'm out of cheeks to kiss.
Not only that, you interned for R. Kelly.
Oh, yeah. I did, yeah. Yeah, he used to chain me to a radiator so I wouldn't leave. All right, so P. Diddy, tell me this theory.
Okay.
I have this theory. Whenever they're talking about what rich guys do, they're telling the story, in the news, and they go, he would watch, male prostitutes have sex with young starlets or whatever, while he sat in the corner and he pleasured himself. And they always say sat and pleasured himself. Mm-hmm. But when you and I are home and alone, we're beating off. We're not pleasuring ourselves. We're beating off. But they never say beating off. They go, he sat there pleasuring himself. And then I thought to myself, pleasuring yourself to beating off is basically what cuisine is to food. It's the same thing. It just gussied it up a little to say cuisine. And then I thought, that's the same as brothel is to whorehouse. And then I thought,
there's a lot going on here. This is way too much.
And then I thought, I would much rather be caught eating cuisine at a brothel while pleasuring myself, then caught eating food at a whorehouse while beating off.
It's a lot.
I know it's a lot, but I'm saying anyone with a significant other, let's put it this way. If somebody said, why did you break up with Orny?
Yeah.
And the person said, he was eating food at a whorehouse while beating off, everyone would go, oh, man, you better get away from that guy as fast as you could. But if someone said he was eating cuisine at a brothel while pleasuring himself, the woman would go, well, my husband golfs, and that's even worse. And they would tell her to get over it. That's all. The power of language.
Yeah. I know you're working on a new bit, and I'm just going to tell you right now, it doesn't work. And the good news is...
Wait a minute. The good news is Halloween.
It's Halloween time.
Halloween is coming up.
And
Halloween is coming up.
I know you're looking to replace, and you come to me as one of the gatekeepers of stand-up comedy.
We've been able to turn it.
Yeah. I mean, I got the call last week. They said, let Carolla know the Halloween decorations are out.
Oh, they're putting them out. Okay.
There's pumpkin everything at Trader Joe's.
It's on.
Come on. Now you can do it. You can officially... do the Halloween bit without any sort of self-awareness.
It's timely.
It's not timely.
It's requested.
Now it is.
Well, during the season, yeah.
I mean, people come to my shows and they request it. That's how I've made this like your signature bit. It's the greatest.
All right. So isn't P. Diddy beating off in the corner?
Yeah, but
why do we call it pleasuring? Or is it pleasuring when there's somebody else in the room, but when I'm sitting home looking at Pornhub, that's beating off?
Yeah. No, it's pleasuring when it's in the press. I mean, even you, as poor as you are, they would say Adam Carolla caught pleasuring himself. They wouldn't say beating off. It's too salacious. It's too. And there's a violence to beating off.
Yeah.
You're angry. You've been angry at your penis your whole life.
Yeah.
And you try and just beat it off.
Yeah. Versus the relationship you have with pleasuring yourself.
Here's the other thing. Nobody uses the word brothel anymore. You date yourself.
By saying brothel.
Yeah, it's like when you drop a Gilligan's Island reference in your Halloween bit.
Oh,
it shows your age.
That gets a pop every time. I love my Skipper reference.
I tried to throw in a
people use brothel. They call them in Vegas. They call them brothels. They don't call them whorehouses. They call them brothels.
I guess
brothels timely.
I guess, but it's not. Do you hear dudes ever say, "Hey, we're going to the brothel tonight," or do they say? We're going to the whore.
They say I'm going to a whorehouse, but if they get caught by their wives, they convert it to brothel.
Yeah.
That's my point. I was eating cuisine at a brothel while pleasuring myself. What's the big one?
Well, and the brothels, the whorehouses call themselves a brothel so they don't get shut down because it sounds more upmarket.
No,